You're listening to KPFT 90.1 on the dial. If you're down in Galveston, catch us at 89.5. If you're up in the piney woods of East Texas, Huntsville, and beyond, 91.9. And it is time for Songwriter Studio. I'm your host, Tom Tranchilla. Along with me behind the glass as every week here in the Songbrush Studios, Lloyd Daniel. Thank you so much, Lloyd, for all you do week after week, month after month. If you're just tuning in to Songwriter Studio this evening, we have a great surprise. The legendary Trudy Lynn has stopped by the studios en route to Main Street Crossing, where you're going to have your CD release party this evening. Trudy, thank you so much for spending an hour with us.
Well, it's an honor to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
Trudy, you're no stranger to KPFT. You've been coming around these studios for decades.
Oh, for a long time. Long time.
And, you know, it's such a shame that we lost the building.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts when you think about it because it's been there so long and it's just like a part of everybody. And to just see it go down was a downer.
We're in limbo right now. We're all in the cloud doing our shows remotely, but they are looking for a new location for us to move to.
That's wonderful.
We are so excited, and thank you so much again for coming in. Steve set this up. Steve Crace, your harmonica player / I guess he's sort of your manager these days.
He's my manager. Mm-hmm.
And great job. He got a copy of the brand new album, The Golden Girl. Trudy, this is a killer record.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
You were telling me before the show, you wrote most of these tracks. A couple are covers. You've got some co-writes on here, but you singly wrote most of these tracks.
Most
and you were
of
telling
them,
me that.
And along with Terry Wilson, he wrote a few on there, you know. But most of them I wrote.
And you're sticking with a lot of the traditional blues, but you've beefed this up with horns, Steve Crace on harmonica, great lead guitar, excellent in-the-pocket drumming. I mean, the whole package is put together. You did a superb job. Where did you record the new record?
We did part of it here in Houston, and the other part we did in California.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And recording quality is just stellar.
Right. And I had a wonderful
quality
producer with me too, Terry Wilson. He was just great to work with.
Not only the producer, but you had mentioned he co-wrote some of these songs.
That's right.
Trudy, we've got so much history to talk about. I've got a stack of notes in front of me here, but
I hope I can answer them all.
Let's give the listening audience a little sample. The first track off the brand new album. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, it's a song I wrote. I was just sitting down one night and it just came to me, you know. And then I've got a lot of friends that go through stuff and I watch people, you know. I'm a people watcher, you know. And so when I write, I try to write stuff that relates to people and their situations. Not that I'm going to solve them, you know. I just write about it. It might help some people to hear about it so they can do something about it. How about that?
I like that.
All right.
Trudy Lynn, our guest on Songwriter Studio. Let's start this show out with Tell Me, the brand new opening track off The Golden Girl.
Let's do it.
Trudy Lynn.
Resist.
Tell Me, brand new music, Trudy Lynn. Excellent guitar work by Yates McKendry.
Right.
Tell me something, Trudy, is Yates McKendry and Kevin McKendry, are they brothers?
No, it's a father and son.
A father and son. I noticed they're on quite a few songs on this project.
Yeah, it's the son that's on the guitar and the father's on the keyboards and the organ. They're out of Nashville.
Oh, okay. That explains it. They're pros. Yeah, that was some excellent guitar work and keyboard work, hands down.
And I was just so impressed with him because it was a young man, you know. I can't say for sure, but he could have been more about 19, 20, something like that. A baby, that's what I say, you know, compared to me.
He's got the tone of a seasoned blues player,
he
for sure.
feels it. He feels what he's doing, and you could just see it, you know, in his work. He's magnificent. He really is.
Trudy, I know you've told the story before. We talked a little bit about this earlier before the interview. How you got your name. Tell the listening audience a little bit about that.
Now here's how this happened. I graduated high school in 1965 from Phyllis Wheatley in the Big Nickel, which I call Fifth Ward.
Fifth Ward.
The Big Nickel. I spent a summer with an aunt there, like a little vacation, you know.
In the Lufkin?
Right, up in Lufkin, Texas. And I was going to leave there and come back home. I was getting ready, really. I was getting ready to go to school. I did all of getting ready to go in. I was going for X-ray technology. And so I went to Lufkin, and so we went out and we went to this club called the Cinderella. My cousin carried me there. And so she told him that I could sing, and the band, you know, asked me what I sing. What did I know? I knew 3 songs, you know, because in high school we had a jazz group that I was with called the Chromatics. And we did a lot of things, you know, like when I was in high school back in the day, it was a hit song out by Barbara George called Hello Stranger. And so I did that song at school, which made me a star in school to do that type of music, you know, at an assembly or something in school, you know. So when I got there, I sung Stormy Monday Blues. Well, Stormy Weather, not Stormy Monday Blues, but Stormy Weather I did. Nighttime is the Right Time, and an Etta James song, Tell Mama. It was a lady there. Her name was Velada. She was the vocalist with that group. She got to where she couldn't work, and so I was there in Lufkin, so they called me and asked me could I come out and fill her space one night, and I said yeah, and so I went and did it, and then come find out she was just through. She had to move back to wherever she was from. I don't know where she was from, you know, so they offered it to me, you know, and they said, you want to just use your name, Audrey? I said, well, that just don't sound right to me. And so in this club back in the day, you know, they got pictures and posters and things out now, you know, but they would draw things on the wall, characters, you know, on the wall, just different pictures of people, you know, and they had a name on that wall. I looked up there and I saw a name, Trudy. I said, well, that sounds good. And so I decided to use that name, Trudy. They said, Trudy what? I said, well, and during that time, it was Gloria Lynn singing, Barbara Lynn singing. And so I said, my name is Trudy Lynn. And that's how I got that name.
It rings.
It rings, yeah. And it fitted because during that time, Gloria Lynn was hot with the jazz, and then Barbara Lynn came out with her song, If You Should Lose Me, You Lose a Good Thing. And so I said, well, I'm going to be one of the Lynn's too. So that's how I did that.
Cool story.
And
Good
I know
story.
Barbara good. She's from Beaumont, and I used to stay summers sometime in Beaumont with my grandparents. They were there from Beaumont, so we knew each other. Barbara. So I said, Barbara, I'm a Lynn, and she just laughed.
If you're just tuning in, we do have Trudy Lynn in the studios.
That's
here,
right.
playing songs off the brand new album, Golden Girl. What a great record this is.
Thank you so
Every
much.
track on the record is radio ready and could be played on the radio.
Fantastic.
We
Love
got the
that.
next, I guess we'd call the next song the title track.
That's right.
Golden Girl Blues. Again, this is one of your compositions.
One of my compositions.
Tell us about Anson
Funderburg.
Funderburg. And
Yeah.
of course, Yates is playing lead guitar again.
And Anson, he's the bomb. He's the bomb. You know, he's a master with what he's doing, and I just love what he's doing on this particular cut.
Well, let's listen to the title track right now, Golden Girl Blues. This is Trudy Lynn.
That's what it's all about.
Once upon a time it was dropping like it's hot.
Title track, Trudy Lynn, Golden Girl Blues. What a great track.
That's the mother.
You got some great horns going on there. Tell us a little bit about the horn section.
Oh, yeah. The horn section that's on there, they're from the California area. But I could tell you tonight on the show that I've got James Bolden blowing trumpet. He was a trumpet player with B.B. King. We got three great horn players that's going to be tonight blowing tracks.
Actually, your opener at tonight's show is here.
James Bolden.
James Boogaloo Bolden. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Eugene Hardaway Bridges is on the show, too. We've added him.
And you're going to have another CD release party coming up after this airs at the Mucky Duck.
At the Mucky Duck.
Are you going to have the same lineup with you then?
Going to have the same lineup.
Excellent. Full horns and the works. Matches a song to the T. You know, this next track, you brought your current manager and harp player, Steve Crace, plays on If Your Phone Don't Ring. This is one of my favorite tracks off the record.
Are you like that?
Oh, my gosh.
And so many people hear that and like it. Say, I like that song, If Your Phone Don't Ring. So everybody really relates to it. They like that song.
Your phone don't ring. It's probably me,
It's me.
Right? We're
So
going to
you won't
jump
get
into
no
that
calls.
in just a second. Well, let's go ahead and play that track right now, and then we're going to get back to some of your write-ups in these magazines I've got noted here. Let's listen to this track right now featuring Steve Crace on harp. Oh, also, you've got Terry Wilson playing slide guitar on this one, right?
Yes. And this is a song that Terry wrote. Terry wrote this particular song.
Oh,
Terry,
okay. Yeah, this is one of my favorite on the record. Let's listen to the brand new track. This is off of Trudy Lynn's Golden Girl, If Your Phone Don't Ring. If your phone don't ring,
It'll
be
be
me. What a great concept. You had mentioned this is a Terry Wilson penned song. I think he co-wrote this with Greg Sutton.
Right.
It's a great concept. And it looked like Terry played the guitars on this
He played
particular
bass.
track. Oh, he played bass on this one. Okay. Yeah, great track. Great groove.
Matter of fact, he's doing bass on all of the songs.
Yeah, he's quite the musician
Terry
and
Wilson.
great
You know, he's the
songwriter.
husband of Teresa James.
Okay.
That's her husband.
All right. I've
Terry
heard the
is,
name.
He's Terry Wilson and the Rhythm Tramps with the group that's behind Teresa James.
Trudy Lynn's our guest on Songwriter Studio, and you graced the cover of Living Blues.
Oh, yeah.
I love the photo inside the insert. By the way, whoever did the artwork on the new project, the inserts, the cover, the back, the photography, it's just a great piece of work.
And I love it. Did a masterful job on it.
Absolutely.
Masterful. And it's a nice, because you don't find many CDs with as much that's in this CD. You know, it's an entire booklet.
It is.
And
It
the CD.
is. It's plenty to read, and you've got all the credits inside.
Right.
If the purchaser wants to know who played on each track, you've got it all in details.
Yeah, I got a picture of all my CDs because I've been doing it a long time.
Yes, you have. Very photogenic, I might add, as well.
I think I look the same on all of them.
You do. You haven't aged a bit.
Card's been good to me. He has. He really has.
He has.
I give all honor to him.
We had mentioned earlier, too, Texas Journey magazine. Apparently, you were the featured artist in this as well.
That's
they
right.
were featuring, and I love this quote right out of the magazine. It says, "The Queen of Houston Soul, Trudy Lynn," and then in parentheses, "Sorry, Beyonce." What an honor.
Well, she
That's
got her
wonderful.
thing, and I got mine.
That's right.
Let me do mine.
I had mentioned this before, and I'll say it again. The whole project is just killer. I love all the tracks. It's good, straight ahead, just really solid blues. Track number 4, I'm Just Saying. Another
Another one of mine,
I love
you know,
the
and it's
lyrics.
just,
I'm just
and
saying.
it's just the truth, you know. I just be saying the truth. Might hurt, you know, but I'm just saying.
You know, I made a special note here after reviewing it. I love the piano work by Kevin McKendry. You
Yes.
had mentioned this is Yates' father.
Yes, right.
Does some killer piano in this song.
He is just magnificent on the piano and the organ. And his son, he's a guitar player, but he's also as great on the keyboard as his father.
Really?
Yes, he is.
Multi-instrumentalist. Let's jump into this. Track number 4, the brand new album, Golden Girl. This is track number 4, I'm Just Saying. Trudy Lynn.
IJS.
Here's a little something you need to learn. If you got your own pot, honey, your food won't burn. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I ain't trying to tell you what to do. I'm just saying. Now don't ever tell everything that you know. A little rain each day will make the river overflow. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I ain't trying to tell you what to do. I'm just saying. If a man say he's loved you, see what he'll do. If he don't do nothing, sugar, he ain't into you. I'm just saying. A man is what he does, not what he says. I ain't trying to tell you what to do. Ooh, I'm just saying. not invited. Don't ask to go. If they wanted you there, baby, they would have told you so. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I ain't trying to tell you what to do, sugar. I'm just saying. Now listen to this. When you run along, can't be out of rain. Leave your friends at home when you're out with your man, girl. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I ain't trying to tell you what to do. I'm just saying. Now I ain't trying to get in your business, shit. I just done been there and I've been back too. You get my drift? I ain't trying to tell you what to do. Who would do it with? I'm just trying to make sure you be on the legit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
The legendary Trudy Lynn, gracing us for an hour here in Songwriter Studio. What a great song.
Yes. I'm just saying.
You sure you're not 16 years old? Come on.
I just don't forget nothing. You know.
You're not only hip, but you're cool.
My daughter is a cosmetologist, and she has a big shop out on the northeast side, on Uvalde. And she got, she leased the boots out, and they tell her all the time, say, girl, your mama fly. Whatever that means, they say I'm fly, so I guess I'm ready. She said, Mama, they tell me you fly. I said, what that mean? You know you fly. You all right. I said, well, that makes sense. I am fly.
Trudy, you got to admit, the younger generation has their own language.
That's right. That's right.
But I'm just saying.
That's just right saying. That's right. IJS. That's what that means. I'm just saying. I ain't trying to get in your business now. But I'm just saying, you better listen.
Let's go back in time, 1973. Senate Records signed you your first debut 45. Mm-hmm. Long Live the Blues,
and What a Waste.
What a Waste. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about how you landed that deal.
And I was working in a club, and this man that had that label, Joe, let me see, his name was Joe. Is it on there?
Oscar Perry.
Oscar Perry, he produced it. But the dude that wrote it, I can't think of his last name. But anyway, he wanted me to record that song, and so I went in the studio, and Oscar Perry recorded it. But let me tell you something about that song. That song, it was a good song. It was a good song, but it was the shortest song I feel like ever recorded. Because when they mixed it, Oscar Perry left out a whole verse. So, back in the day, they would make sure that a song would only be played like 1.5, 2 minutes or something like that, But I don't think the song lasted that long, But it got a lot of airplay, I guess, because it was a short song, because they didn't want long songs to be played on the air. And that one got a lot of play.
The shorter the song, the more songs they can cram in 1 hour. They can
cram in, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Early Beatle records, a lot of them were under 2 minutes.
That's right, and that's what it used to be. You just couldn't go over 3 minutes. Couldn't go over 3 minutes.
Wouldn't get any airplay if it was over 3 minutes.
You wouldn't get no airplay.
Good point. Well, you come a long way since then. I think we figured, 16, 18, 20 albums maybe? You don't even know how many records.
That's true, because I did so many, and a lot of them are live shows, and so they were released too.
Tonight you'll be at Main Street Crossing. When this show airs, this will have passed, but there'll be another CD release party at the Mucky Duck.
At the Mucky Duck. Okay.
We're looking forward to it. You're going to be out there with full band. Steve Crace is going to be blowing that mean harp of his.
Yes.
And you're going to have a full horn section again.
That's right.
And
James Boogaloo Bolin.
James
and
Boogaloo.
Eugene Hardaway Bridges. He's, are you familiar with him?
I am not.
Oh, he's a guitar player, and he just came back to Houston in this area. He's from Houston, but he was living in London, England. So he came back. So he's well known overseas, but he is somebody to be reckoned with. This cat he the bomb. He's out there on YouTube. Just check him out. Eugene Hardaway Bridges. He's heavy.
Speaking of YouTube, you just had a brand new video released on YouTube.
Yes.
I think this is something that Steve Crace put out. Tell us a little bit
That's right.
about
It was
this.
released yesterday. Well, with the company Nola Blue, they released it yesterday on YouTube, and believe it or not, so it's got 2,700 something hits already.
Already in 24 hours.
In 2 days. Yeah, well, you're right. One day, 24 hours.
Incredible.
But over 2,000, so that's good. That's good. Praise the Lord. That's good.
It'll keep growing from there. Mm-hmm. If you're just tuning in, Trudy Lynn is our guest on Songwriter Studio. We're featuring brand new songs off the Golden Girl album. You have to love the music, number one. But if you like that and pick up a copy of this hard copy, you'll love the artwork, the packaging, the inserts. I mean, the CD project's worth the money plus some.
Yes,
Just
it
a
is.
great job on this packaging. Let's listen to the next track. Track number 5, Is It Cold in Here? Brand new music, Trudy Lynn. Let's listen to that track right now.
All right.
I know there's something wrong. Slow down. Tell me what's on your mind. We've been together much too long. You owe me this. Let's take the time. I thought I lived in your heart. Right now, I'm not so sure. There's a look deep in your eyes, and it's tearing us apart. You know I know your touch, the one I love so much, but lately it don't feel the same. Tell me, where do I stand? Is there a change of plan? I need to know. What can I do? Is it cold in here, or is it you? Okay, I know you've been hurt, but listen to me. It's a cold, cold world here with me, here in my arms. Just think about it. Do you want to lose this girl? I'll let you into my soul, and there you're not alone. In my life, there's a wonderful place for the love that we've known. You know I know your touch, the one I love so much, but lately it don't
Is It Cold in Here? Brand new music, Trudy Lynn. I'll tell you what, Trudy, that's a song about romance there, isn't it?
Everybody can relate to it.
Yeah.
You know.
And the problems in romance. Mm-hmm. Is it cold in here? Or is it you? Great song.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mentioned prior to this that the next track, I really love this song, Trouble with Love, Kick and Harp by Steve Crace, just tearing it up. And Anson on guitar. He's got, I don't know if it's him playing the solo in this track or not, but it's just killer.
Yes. It's Anson.
If you're just tuning in, Trudy Lynn is our guest on Songwriter Studio here on KPFT. This station has been around for 52 years. This is our 52nd anniversary this week. And we talked earlier in the show about how they sold the building, and I'm not sure if it's been scraped for the new office building they're building there or not, but we are doing our shows, recording our shows remotely until our new location is located. And we thank Trudy for coming out to the Songwriter Studios to do this interview. It's just been a pleasure and an honor.
It's a beautiful studio, I must say.
It's Lloyd Daniels' studio. I mean, he's just got a wonderful
gorgeous
place. Thank you, Lloyd. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you. It's beautiful. Just so romantic.
It is romantic. Let's listen to the next track off this brand new, terrific, killer album, Golden Girl, Trouble with Love, featuring Steve Crace on harp.
In my mind, I keep looking for someone I can't find. Trouble with love, oh yeah. Trouble with love, oh I got it. Trouble with love. I don't need a man to be a big spender. I just want me a man who's a credit to his gender. For what you gave back. That's why you're so blue and baby that's so fine. I see your ship out there, but it won't come in. You gotta swim out and get things what you need. Trouble with love, oh yeah. Trouble with love. Man who's a credit to his gender. Some men give to your cup and run you over. Seem to take to your run. Trouble with love, oh no. Trouble with love, I got it. Trouble with love, big trouble. Trouble with love, treat me tender. Trouble with love, oh yeah. Trouble with love, oh I got it. Trouble with love, oh yeah. I don't care if you play the ring. I just want a man who's a credit to his gender. Oh, not looking for a man who brings me splendor. I don't want a man who's a credit to his gender. 'Cause I'm trouble.
Trouble with Love, brand new music, Trudy Lynn, hot guitar playing by Anson Funderburg, and Steve Crace. I don't care what song it is, his harp just really stands out. Great project. Let's talk a little bit about the next track Lloyd's got queued up, Live With Yourself. Great harmonies, background harmonies in this track. Tell us a little bit about this song.
It's actually a gospel song, you know. If you listen to the lyrics, it's a gospel song, and I think it's a good song. It's about living and what you go do when you face St. Peter.
That's right. We've all got
when you
somebody
get to the
answer
pearly
to.
gates, you're gonna get there, you know.
That's right.
And we all are gonna check out of here one day.
No escaping it, Trudy.
No escaping it. No escaping it, you know. And you're going to come to that point in your life, and you want your conscience to be clear on everything, you know. So you just have to think you gotta be good. You just can't be bad. And think you're going to get to the pearly gates and walk through. It ain't going to happen, baby. It ain't going to happen.
Brand new music, Trudy Lynn. Let's listen to Live With
Okay.
Yourself.
We're all gonna check out of here the same way someday.
Live with Yourself, brand new music from the Golden Girl, Houston's Queen of Soul. Trudy Lynn, we're almost out of time. Thank you so much for being our guest.
Oh, it's been such a pleasure. I can just go on and on and on with you.
We could have gone. This could have been a 3-hour interview.
Yes, it could have. It could have. It could have.
You got several shows coming up, including your second CD release party at the Mucky Duck.
That would be the third.
Be the third CD release
This is
party.
the second one.
Okay. And where was your original CD release party?
It was at the Continental Club.
Oh, at the Continental Club. Great venue.
It was wonderful.
So your third release party will be at the Mucky Duck. That's April 8th, coming up this coming weekend. And I've seen your current lineup. They are outstanding. Get out there to this show if you want to see a fantastic live blues show. You've got just about all your releases somewhere is available, I'm sure. Do you have a website folks can go to and order your music?
You can go to Trudy Lynn Blues, or either you can go to Nola Blue Records and pick it up. And if you go to YouTube and watch the video, it's a lot of addresses it's posted there on how to get it.
That makes it easy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Just go to
basically
YouTube.
YouTube,
Right.
Trudy Lynn, it should pop up.
Golden Girl.
Golden Girl. And you are a golden girl.
Thank you.
It's been our pleasure.
Oh, I've enjoyed it.
Yes, our pleasure for sure. Thank you, Lloyd, for all you do. And just a few things before we move on. If you like what you hear at KPFT, as you know, we are always looking for pledges from our loyal listeners. Just go to kpft.org, hit that tip jar, and make sure the money goes to Songwriter Studio, or just dial 713-526-5738. Operators are always standing by, and please make sure that money comes to Songwriter Studio. We've been coming to you all these years, bringing you the independent artists like Trudy Lynn, who have a place to go, a market to go to let you folks know about her gigs and her music. Upcoming at Main Street Crossing, Hayes Carl's got 3 shows out there, March 24th, 25th, 26th. Walt Wilkins out of Austin will be there March 29th. And one of my favorite guitar players-songwriters, Steve Warrener, will be out there April 1st. Stick around. Up next, Irish Airs, followed by the Bluegrass Depot. Big shout out to Tim, our co-host occasionally when he comes into the studio, listening to us from Asheville, North Carolina. Thank you for listening, Tim. Trudy Lynn has been our guest on this portion of Songwriter Studio. Thank you so much, Trudy.
Thanks for having me.
We've got the last track queued up we're going to go out with, and this is Life Goes On. This is an old Big Mama Thornton song. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
Yes, it is. When I first heard this song, I like to listen to old blues. I've got a collection, And Nancy McAfee, I'm pretty sure you know her. She has a slew of old music, and she brings it to me, and I sit down and listen to it. But I came across Willie Mae Thornton, Big Mama Thornton, as people call her, a tune that she did. This song here, Life Goes On. And the band that was recording behind her was Muddy Waters Band, and I heard this song. And I just fell in love with it. I just like what she was saying because it pertained to today with what's going on. You like the war in Ukraine, and people are dying from the COVID, and it's everything that's going on day to day to day. Regardless of what's going on, life still goes on.
Thank you so much, Trudy. Words of wisdom.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being our guest.
Oh, I've enjoyed it.
Studio.
I've enjoyed it, and thank you very much.
Let's go out right now with the closing track from Golden Girl, Life Goes On. Thank you, Trudy.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Lloyd. We will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in to Songwriter Studio.
To tell friends I go. I play a losing game, but life goes on just the same. I was happy right from the start. Now I'm so lonely since you broke my heart. I play a losing game, but life goes on just the same. Just the same.